The surprising truth: 6 ways masturbation after 70 affects your prostate and male health. Most men over 70, they think talking about masturbation is taboo, or even worse, totally irrelevant to their health. But what if I told you that this very silence, this looking away, is a massive mistake? What if it's costing you critical, life-altering knowledge about your prostate, your vitality, your very well-being as you age? Get ready, because in the next few minutes, we're diving deep into 6 astonishing changes your body goes through. Some are incredible benefits, others are serious warnings, but all of them are things you absolutely need to know. The biggest shocker? One of these changes, and you won't believe this, hints at a powerful natural defense mechanism your body might already have against a major health fear. But are you accidentally shutting it down? Many guys feel those unsettling shifts in their pelvic health, the discomfort, the urinary issues, and they just suffer in silence. What if the path to feeling better, to taking back control, is way more accessible than you've ever imagined? This isn't just about some private act. It's about understanding crucial changes most doctors barely have time to mention. Are you ready to confront what really happens? Because what you learn today could fundamentally change how you approach your health, your confidence, and your life in your 70s and beyond. Don't you dare miss this. Change number 1. The fluid dynamics, easing prostate pressure and congestion. The silence ends now. Let's kick things off with a change that might bring surprisingly quick relief to a nagging discomfort many men over 70 just grit their teeth and bear. Think about your prostate for a second, like a small, sensitive internal reservoir. Now, what happens when its contents just sit there, stagnant, especially after you hit 70? It's a fact. As men age, the prostate gland naturally tends to grow. Sometimes it's a slow creep, other times it's more in your face, potentially leading to those classic benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, symptoms. But here's something many men just don't realize. Regular ejaculation, whether with a partner or on your own, can act like power washing a clogged pipe. Seriously, this simple act can genuinely help reduce the stagnation of prostate fluid. And that's a big deal, especially after 70, when the gland is practically begging for reasons to swell up and get tender. Now, this isn't some magic bullet for all prostate issues, let's be real. It's more about firing up healthy circulation right where you need it. When fluid hangs around in the prostate too long without an exit strategy, bam, you can get that heavy pressure cooker feeling in your pelvic region. For some guys, these feelings are so vague they get mistaken for totally different conditions, sparking a whole lot of needless worry. But an occasional release clears the decks, just like flushing a pipe that's been holding on to stagnant water for way too long. There's this quiet, almost unnoticeable comfort that comes from knowing your body's still in the game, still responding like it should. I remember this one fellow, Leonard, 74 years young. He cracked a joke once with this knowing little smirk. If my joints are going to ache, I at least want my plumbing to stay smooth. Crude? Nah. He was just being brutally honest about wanting basic bodily comfort. And you know what? For him, sticking to his personal routine made him feel more balanced. He noticed less discomfort, fewer of those annoying middle-of-the-night bathroom parades, and this powerful sense that his body hadn't thrown in the towel. The ejaculation benefits he got weren't just in his head. They were real, tangible improvements in his day-to-day life. But look, while this is a normal, healthy habit for a lot of men, it isn't a universal fix for pelvic pressure relief. If you're wrestling with ongoing pelvic pressure, trouble urinating, or discomfort after climax, you absolutely need to talk to a healthcare provider. No shortcuts there. But for many men, particularly those sailing through their 70s and 80s, this regular release is a massive supporter of a healthier, less congested prostate. It might even slash the need for medications or procedures down the road. Leonard's story? It's all about that renewed sense of balance and control, that amazing reassurance when your body still does what it's supposed to. This regular release, for so many, is a game changer for a less congested prostate. So, Leonard found physical relief, which is fantastic. But what if that same simple act was also secretly training crucial, often ignored muscles, unlocking even greater daily freedom? You intrigued? You should be. Change number 2. The unseen workout strengthening pelvic floor and urinary control. So, Leonard got his plumbing feeling smoother, a huge win. But here's the kicker he didn't even realize. That same activity was also moonlighting as a personal trainer for a hidden muscular system deep inside him. The result? An unexpected surge in his daily confidence. What was this other, equally vital, secret benefit? What if I told you the key to dodging those mortifying leaks and those frantic gotta-go-now bathroom dashes after 70 wasn't some new pill, but an internal workout most men completely ignore? It's true. One of the most under-the-radar sexual activity benefits after 70, and yes, this includes masturbation, is how it powerfully supports your pelvic floor muscles. Now, this group of muscles, they're the unsung heroes crucial for bladder control, proper prostate function, and even, yes, sexual satisfaction. But they're often overlooked until, boom, there's a problem. And just like any other muscle in your body, if you use it with purpose and regularity, it stays stronger for longer. But as men get older, that pelvic floor can start to slack off. That unfortunate reality can unleash a cascade of issues. That annoying dribbling after you think you're done, that sudden, overwhelming urgency, or even occasional outright leakage. These are incredibly common complaints, often leading to urinary incontinence in older men. But listen up, they are not always inevitable. Here's the secret sauce. Engaging these muscles during climax is like sending that entire region to the gym. Think of it as a completely natural exercise that bolsters both control and, just as importantly, confidence. And there's a powerful feedback loop happening. When you feel more in command of your urination, you start moving more freely when you're out and about, you sleep better, you live with far less of that quiet, soul-crushing embarrassment. This isn't just about physical function, fellas. It's about reclaiming your freedom. I remember talking to Charles, 79. Initially, he was pretty hesitant to discuss this stuff. And that's common, no judgment here. But he'd been dealing with minor leaks, the kind that made him dread long car rides or public events. So, he decided to try incorporating simple pelvic floor exercises alongside his regular, healthy sexual activity. Just a few months later, the change in him was palpable. He told me, and you could hear the pride in his voice, "I'm not just managing symptoms anymore. I feel like I'm steering the ship again." Charles's story is a powerful testament to what happens when you take proactive steps. It's also really important to get this. The muscles involved in climax are largely the same ones used during urination and bowel movements. When those muscles stay active and engaged through healthy function, they're far more responsive when you actually need them. What does that mean for you? Fewer interruptions to your day, a massive boost in bathroom confidence, and believe it or not, even potentially improved posture and back support, all thanks to the connection between these engaged muscles and your overall responsiveness. For men over 70, it turns out every system in the body is way more interconnected than we ever thought. Charles got his freedom back, feeling in charge of his outings once more. He regained control over his body's exits. Fantastic. But what about the pathways within? Could this same activity also be breathing new life into the very tissues of the prostate itself? Stick with me. Change number 3. The internal nourishment boosting blood flow for prostate tissue vitality. Charles felt like he was steering the ship again. A massive win for his confidence and daily life by strengthening that crucial pelvic floor. But the good news didn't stop with muscle control. Deep inside, that very same activity was kicking off another vital process, almost like waking up a dormant garden after a long winter. So, what exactly was happening to the prostate tissue itself? Picture this, your prostate tissue, it's like a prized garden. To truly thrive, what does it need? Consistent, nourishing watering. Now, here's a thought that might hit home. What if many men over 70 are unknowingly letting that vital garden go parched? It's a simple fact of aging. Our body's natural circulation tends to become less efficient over time. You might notice this age-related decline in circulation in your hands and feet first, that telltale chill. But it's also subtly affecting your internal organs, and yes, that absolutely includes the prostate. Here's where it gets interesting. Regular sexual activity, especially after you cross the 70-year mark, actively encourages fresh blood flow right to the pelvic region. This is a critical boost for prostate circulation, and don't underestimate it. This might sound like a small thing, but its impact on tissue health is anything but minor. When blood moves freely and vigorously through that area, It's like a super delivery service for vital oxygen and nutrients, getting them right to the tissues that are crying out for them. We're talking muscles, nerves, and the prostate gland itself. This kind of targeted, localized circulation does way more than just support comfort. It actively helps keep those tissues from becoming stagnant, stiff, or overly sensitive. It really is like watering a plant. Give it too little, and things start to wither and droop. Give it just enough, consistently, and the whole system stays flexible, nourished, and far better equipped to handle stress. What does this mean in real terms? Men who stay sexually active well into their 70s and 80s often report noticeably fewer sensations of tightness or pressure in their lower abdomen. They also tend to have fewer gripes about that persistent, dull ache that can creep in after long periods of sitting, a common complaint magnified by a sedentary lifestyle's impact. I chatted with Harold, a sharp 75-year-old. He admitted to a fairly sedentary lifestyle but made it a point every week to engage in intimacy, whether with his wife or through dedicated self-care. His words, they were eye-opening. "It's not just a release," Harold confided, a new spark in his expression. "It's like it wakes everything up down there. I swear I walk different. I feel different." His experience isn't unique. It points to something incredibly real. The act of arousal and climax creates movement, stimulation, and a surge of blood flow in an area that, for many, stays relatively still for most of the day. This isn't about forcing activity or pushing yourself too hard. It's about gently coaxing a system that absolutely thrives on regular movement. Think about it. You'd stretch your legs to avoid cramps, or take a walk to keep your heart strong, right? Well, occasional stimulation of the prostate area, when done safely and respectfully, can act just like a tune-up for your internal engine. It's one more powerful way to support your health from the inside out. Harold felt more alive, his tissues practically humming with this internal awakening. But could this simple act of waking things up be doing something even more profound? Something that directly addresses one of the biggest, unspoken fears that shadows aging men? The answer might just astound you. Change number 4. The preventative potential, a surprising ally against prostate cancer risk? Harold felt his whole pelvic region practically wake up thanks to that improved circulation. A gentle, yet powerful internal tune-up. This rush of enhanced blood flow wasn't just making tissues more resilient. It was making him feel more alive. But here's a question that cuts deeper. What if this regular flushing and heightened activity offered something far more significant than just comfort and vitality? Could it be a silent, unsung guardian against that far more serious threat? The one that looms large in the minds of so many older men? Are we talking about a secret defense mechanism here? The word cancer, it just casts this long, chilling shadow, doesn't it? Especially for men over 70, when conversations too often drift towards prostate cancer risk. But what if I told you that a completely natural, intensely private activity might hold a surprising, even shocking key to potentially slashing that risk? It sounds almost too good to be true, but some of the more startling findings emerging from cancer prevention studies are pointing to a truly intriguing link. A connection between regular ejaculation frequency and a potentially lower risk of prostate cancer. We're talking about several large-scale inquiries, some of which track thousands of men over decades. And the pattern? Men who ejaculate more frequently, particularly as they move into their later years, appear to have a slightly reduced risk of developing this dreaded disease compared to those who don't. Now, let's hit the pause button and be crystal clear. This is not a guarantee. It's certainly not being touted as a cure. Think of it as one important piece in the much larger, more complex puzzle of health maintenance and cellular health. The prevailing theory suggests that the act of ejaculation might help to physically flush out potentially harmful substances from the intricate network of prostate ducts. This flushing action, in turn, could reduce congestion and the kind of cellular buildup that, over extended periods, might play a sinister role in triggering inflammation or even abnormal cell growth. In simpler terms, it helps keep the entire system clean and responsive. Of course, don't think for a second that frequency alone dictates your cancer risk. Your genetics, your diet, your environment, your overall lifestyle, these all play absolutely massive parts. But when researchers meticulously isolate patterns within these large groups of men, they've consistently found that those who maintain regular, consistent sexual activity tend to show slightly better outcomes in terms of long-term prostate health. That includes, fascinatingly, lower reported rates of cancer diagnosis. I once knew a vibrant gentleman, Vince, 82 years young, who shared a profound shift in his perspective. "You know," he mused one sunny afternoon, "I used to think sex was just for pleasure, pure fun. Now I see it's part of the plumbing, too." He wasn't trying to be flippant or crude. Vince's story was a beautiful illustration of an evolved mindset. For him, sexual activity had transformed from being merely a form of personal expression into what he termed a quiet act of maintenance, right up there with brushing his teeth or going for his daily walk. It's also incredibly important to stress that this isn't about creating pressure or inducing guilt. There's no magic number to hit, no quota to meet, but simply staying connected to your body, consciously engaging in healthy function, even modestly, can serve as one small yet powerful proactive choice in the grand narrative of your health. And, it goes without saying, regular checkups, including PSA screenings and open, honest conversations with your healthcare provider remain absolutely non-negotiable. No amount of personal activity can ever replace professional awareness and guidance. But if regular release has the potential to support your prostate health on multiple levels, then it's certainly worth viewing as far more than just a private moment. It's a genuine, potential investment in your long-term well-being. Vince hit the nail on the head calling it plumbing maintenance, a truly proactive health step. But just like any intricate machinery, can too much or perhaps the wrong kind of maintenance end up causing its own unique set of problems, especially as that machinery gracefully ages? Let's talk about that. Embracing the journey. Clarity, confidence, and connection in your later years. Bruce discovered his slow-burning flame, a powerful testament to the ever-evolving nature of pleasure and our profound bodily connection, especially after 70. His wisdom, intertwined with the real-life experiences of Leonard, Charles, Harold, Vince, and Walter, paints a picture that's not just complex, but genuinely hopeful, doesn't it? So, after navigating these 6 often unspoken, yet deeply significant changes, from the straightforward mechanics of prostate fluid all the way to the subtle, intricate dance of our hormones, what's the ultimate empowering takeaway here? How can this newfound knowledge truly arm you to not just age, but to age with profound wisdom, unshakable confidence, and a continued vibrant sense of vitality in these precious later years? Now that we've journeyed together through these 6 transformative changes, just take a quiet moment. Let it all sink in. Which one of these insights truly surprised you the most? Was it the almost deceptively simple idea of a natural flushing mechanism keeping things healthy? Or perhaps the unexpected pelvic floor benefits that extend far beyond the bedroom? More importantly, which revelation made you feel more deeply connected to your body, rather than distanced from it by fear or misunderstanding? Here's the truth about aging wisely. Yes, aging undeniably changes things, but it absolutely does not end them. Your body might indeed move a bit differently now, it might respond more slowly at times, or perhaps it craves a little more tender care than it used to. But that doesn't mean it's broken. Far from it. It means it's become wise. And truly understanding what your prostate is going through, what it needs, how it functions, how it reacts to healthy, respectful stimulation. Well, that understanding can gift you something many older men don't even realize they're missing. Crystal clear clarity, profound reassurance, and a quiet, unshakable body confidence. Let's be very clear. Sexual health and continued sexual activity after 70, whether that's enjoyed alone or with a cherished partner, isn't about proving a damn thing to anyone. It's about staying present and engaged in your own body. It's about promoting healthy circulation, ensuring comfort, maintaining control, and above all, fostering that vital connection to your overall health, to your unique identity, and to that irrepressible part of you that still passionately wants to feel not just useful, but vibrantly, unmistakably alive. This entire journey, every step, is an act of profound self-care and an assertion of your personal empowerment. If there's just one single, resonant message you take away from our time together today, let it be this: you are still absolutely allowed to care for yourself in this deeply personal way. You are still absolutely allowed to feel pleasure, to honor your amazing body, and to take genuine pride in understanding the incredible ways it continues to work and adapt. There is nothing absolutely nothing shameful about any of that. In fact, it's one of the most fundamentally human, life-affirming things you can possibly do. So, whether you're just learning about these intricate changes for the very first time today, or if this conversation has simply confirmed what you've quietly suspected or perhaps even experienced for years, please remember this. You are not alone. And even more importantly, you are most definitely not finished. There is still so much of you that is strong, inherently curious, wonderfully capable, and profoundly worthy of the very best care. This lifelong learning, this journey of understanding your body, it doesn't have an expiration date. Every single piece of knowledge you gather is a powerful step towards a more empowered, more informed, and yes, more vibrant life, even far beyond 70. Now, what's one thing you learned today that you're going to think about differently? I genuinely love to hear about it in the comments below. And hey, if this helped you, do me a favor, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more insights that matter.